If you're online content creators, you've probably heard of Project Neo. Project Neo is a program that allows you to create visuals with the aesthetics of Vector.design program. So far so good, but the company that made Project Neo has been recently accused by many users for questionable changes in their conditions. What I wanted to show you here is that you can make similar things with Blender, and Blender is an animation program, but the big plus that it's an open source and free to use. I have created this template file which you could download, and this will allow you to start creating very quickly, and I'm going to go through the process and show you how you can create 2D images that looks like vector graphics, and then you could further process them in other programs. So why don't we just get started? This is how your work area will look like the moment you open your file. Now before we start, it is important to make sure that there is an add-on installed. So you go to Edit, Preferences, and under Add-ons make sure that Bool tool is active. On the main screen you can see the object that I previously created. On the left side you can see a side view, and here on the top is the top view of those objects. Now another important thing is to take a look at this window, at this layer. This is a zoomed in of this window. So what we have here is the shapes which I created. Two types of line generation, a silhouette and a contour, which you can choose according to your preferences. And there is the ortho camera and the perspective camera that gives you two different views of the same object. If I expand those two cameras, I can see the actual cameras and I can choose between them. For each object that you drag into the screen, you can apply multiple modifiers, like pressing G will move it around, pressing R will rotate it, and pressing S will scale it. Now, if for example I move this object, I intersect the other object. Let's see what we can do here. You have the contour. If I render it by pressing F12, I see the contour of both shapes, and if I choose the silhouette instead, I see just the silhouette of both shapes. I can also run Boolean operations on those shapes. For example, I choose this one and then this one. I press Ctrl+Shift-, and now I got intersection of those shapes, and if I render it, I get only this one. And if I render it with a state of contour, you can see all the lines. Now I could choose the other one first, and now I just cut the other one instead. So as you can see, this is a pretty useful tool, and it's pretty powerful, and you can do a lot of stuff with this. I can move it around, I can scale it, I can rotate it, and basically, as they say, that the sky is the limit, or your imagination. So again, I render a silhouette. You see the line that goes around the objects. And if I go again to the state of contour, I can see the contours of those shapes. I'm also going to include another example, which is cups. One is still in different parts and one is in one part. And here's actually a good time to show the difference between the types of cameras. Here is the ortho camera, and here's the perspective camera. As you can see, the look is quite different, and it depends on your need for your final graphic design. Here are the renders, and when you render the file, you can just go to Image and Save As, and then you can process it with any other bitmap processing program. So what do I have to say? Just go ahead, download this file. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't hesitate to send me any questions, and Of course, you are welcome to follow. Wishing you a good day and bye bye.